by Shelley Shan Staff reporter. Former EVA Airways Corporation Chairman Chang Kuowei's 5-year plan to found a new airline might be realized before the end of this year, as the Ministry of Transportation and Communications is scheduled to review an amendment to the regulations of Civil Air Transport Enterprise (ZK8NG) at the end of this month that would relax the requirements to become a civil aviation carrier. Chang, one of the sons of late EVA Air founder Chang Kuowei, left the family business because of the disputes with his siblings last year and announced that he would form a new carrier called Starlux Airlines. However, the current regulations have a list of criteria that Chang has to meet to start a new airline, some of which he said were strict and unreasonable. Lawmakers asked the Civil Aeronautics Administration (CA) to review the regulations in light of Chang's comments. The CA said that it had decided to relax some of the criteria following extensive discussions on the issues, adding that it had submitted the amendment to the ministry for approval. However, the ministry rejected the amendments on the ground that the administration should not only change the criteria in the stated regulations, but also adjust the rules that might be affected by the change of criteria. However, CA Director General Chang Kuowei said that the ministry's request would not delay the relaxation of the regulations. The ministry simply wanted us to review other regulations that might be affected by the changes, Lin said, adding that the ministry wanted the agency to complete the task by the end of this month so that it could start reviewing the proposed amendments. The draft amendment stipulates that, if a civil aviation carrier is to be established, it must be able to prove that it has funding of at least $6 billion US $199.1 million, Lin said. The airline must also have 5 management teams in charge of flight operations, aircraft maintenance, aviation safety, fleet management and service quality control, he said. The proposed amendment also stipulates that at least 3 people in the management teams should have experience as an associate manager or a higher position in a civil aviation company, he said. Meanwhile, a new airline must have at least 3 aircraft before launching its business, he added. The current regulations state that a corporation must be in operation at least 5 years and have generated an annual revenue of $6 billion in the past 3 years for it to be qualified to apply to establish a new airline. If the new airline offers international flights, the company must also have engaged in an international trade or transport business for 5 years. These qualification criteria for new carriers would be removed in the proposed amendment, Lin said, adding that the administration would only ask if the corporation has the financial and professional capacity to run an airline. In light of the disputes caused when TransAsia Airways ceased its business last year, Lin said that a proposed amendment to the Civil Aviation Act (ZO) stipulates that an airline must apply to cease its business 2 months in advance. Not only would a company face a fine of between $600,000 and $3 million for failing to file an application in advance, the person in charge of the company's operations would also face a fine of $10 million and could be sentenced to up to 1 year in prison, Lin said.